Alright, so the Toyota 86/Subaru BRZ/Scion FRS redesign. I did make a redesign of the front view and I'm gonna link it up here in the corner. That was all about sharpening everything up and have the design grow up from this version. And that's pretty much what we're going to do with this rear view as well. So what we're going to work with primarily is the graphics in the rear, but we're also gonna make some changes to the side right here. So the idea that I have is to, first of all, this ducktail right here, it's too flat for me, it's too horizontal. What I want to do is create something like that goes something like this. We're going to take design cues both from the new Toyota Supra, and we're also going to take some styling cues from Lexus and how they design cars nowadays. I want to have this ducktail integrated like that. Then I want to create some structure in the rear. I want to have something that supports this ducktail so it looks like it's holding it up, and we're gonna do that by adding some graphical elements right here. Down here I want to have an outlet for the rear wheel well, and the air can go out that way, and that also adds to the overall sportiness of the rear. The rear lights, to me, these have always been, they felt like they take up too much space, and what that creates is it makes the car look smaller than it needs to be. So it is already a small car, but by adding these huge taillights, you make it look even smaller. So I want to work on that and cut them down and have them be more distinct and more sharp. That's where the Lexus styling is going to come in. So moving on to the side here, I'm going to remove this air outlet or intake or whatever that is and create some graphic that goes down like this. And for the rear shoulder right there, I want it to be beefier. I want it to have to feel like it's wider than it is, and we do that by emphasizing and making this shoulder line more prominent. The way we're gonna do that is by creating this line here. We're gonna have it go all the way down here like this, and then continue to the front axle all the way there. Those are the major changes that we're going to do to this redesign, and I can't wait to get started with this. I love redesigning small sports cars like this. So let's see what we can do with this Toyota 86/Subaru BRZ/Scion FRS. They're all the same car, so I'm gonna have this be the redesign for all of them. The only thing that's gonna change is like a spoiler or a bumper line or something like that. So let's get to work, let's get this done, and let's see what we can do. So starting out with this 86 redesign, first of all, we need to figure out what kind of structure and what kind of fundamental design changes we want to make. And the easiest way to do that is to just not think about any details whatsoever and just go in with a big fat airbrush and try to figure out the lines that we want to create and the lines we want to change. And from there, we start to go into details. So I'm just gonna let this video run and pop in every now and then throughout this video and explain why I did some certain things and the different phases of this design. So let's get to it. So now that we got this far, we have some structure now in the rear. The only problem from this point, this is the easy part to kind of figure out what kind of design elements we want in this car. So we have the integrated ducktail. right here done. I think I'm probably gonna raise it up more to have it be something like that. But now we need to figure out, we have this line right here, as you can see. So I want to have that be connected all the way from the shoulder line and then have it go down here. And within this line, I want that to have some connection to both the rear lights, the graphics of the rear lights, and the intake that we're going to add someplace around here. And then once we're done with that, we're gonna jump in and focus on the side view here, or the side design of this 86, and try to figure out what we want to do with this. I don't like this part right here. It's too there are too many details. This line in the middle here, and then we have this line here and here. It just doesn't suit this car because everything else is so clean. And then you have this kind of complex little detail that just annoys me. So what I want to do is delete this and create some sort of maybe an air intake right here as well, or outlet that goes something like that. That just cuts the front fender, and that of course also adds to the sportiness of the car. And we already have these lines here. So we have these lines that I was talking about in the intro to support the ducktail. And the reason I want to have that there is because if, for example, we were to put a wing here, let's say we put a wing up here, something like this, what you would see underneath is, of course, the supporting brackets or the supporting mounts like that. So instead of having the wing there and have everything being integrated, what we're doing basically is doing this with the design. So we're taking this graphically and just lower it to have it be integrated like that. And what I mean by that is, if we have that spoiler, we would have these brackets, but I want them to be integrated in the shape and the design as well, graphically, instead of them being a separate part. So the wing is this ducktail, and the brackets would be this graphic that we have down here. So that's what we're gonna do right now, and then we're going to focus on the side of this car. Alright, this redesign is coming along pretty nicely here. So here's the changes that we made so far. I was talking about the support brackets that I wanted to integrate graphically in this design, and we have those, the graphics for that right here with these two pillars. Let's call them pillars that holds up this integrated ducktail right here. And I also added this intake here, and we have, it kind of connects to everything else because it connects to this line right here. So it looks nice, it looks like it's part of the actual design and that there was a thought behind it. And at the same time, it's parallel to this line right here. So this distance is the same all the way down here. I also added this chamfer down here because I love chamfers, as simple as that. It just makes everything looks a lot better. And I know some of you were waiting to comment, how are you supposed to open the trunk? It's all closed and welded together now. But no need to worry because we added this cut line here and we redesigned the whole cut line to make it suit this new redesign. And we started working on the side here, and you can see here how beefier it looks when you stretch this line all the way down here and then have it continue all the way down there. So it kind of flows nice. If you look at this car, if you were to look at this car from a side view, this redesign, you would see this line coming all the way from the front fender right here, or bumper, and then continue here, and then flow up this way, and then all the way back to the tail lights. And that's one of these lines. It actually continues all the way up here too, to the ducktail. And this is one of these key lines in any car design that ties everything together. So no matter what view or what perspective you're looking at this car from, you will always see this line connecting everything together. And from here, your eyes can either wander this way, up here, or it can wander down here to the corner of the bumper down here. And I really like how these taillights turned out. They look pretty aggressive, but at the same time, you can tell that it's inspired from Lexus and also some current Toyota models. And of course, to add it to make it look more real and to make it look nicer, we gotta add these chamfers here. So I have a chamfer at the bottom and at the top, and that makes it look like the light is sitting inside of the body of the car, and to me that just looks a lot nicer. And the light of the taillight itself is going to be brighter since it's sitting in a shaded area. Another detail that I wanted to add was this line up here, this sharp line that goes along the greenhouse, and I added that because we have so many sharp lines in the rear now compared to the original one. So I wanted to add something to sharpen up the roof as well, and we do that by just adding this simple sharp line up there. So now what we gotta do is figure out this area right here, what we want to do with that, and also play around with the wheels and see if we can add some graphics to them since they are spinning. I mean, they look good, black wheels on a white car, so we might just add some graphical element to those tires. So, there we have it. That's the redesign of the Toyota 86/Subaru BRZ/Scion FRS. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as me and Rosie enjoyed this one. This is probably one of my favorite redesigns. I really like how this turned out. It looks a lot sharper than the current model, and if this is what the next generation is going to look like, I'm definitely going to buy one myself. Let me know what you think about this redesign, and if you like this kind of videos, I'm gonna link all my car makeovers up in this corner up there. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me today. It really means a lot. I'm the Sketch Monkey. If you like these kind of videos, hit the subscribe button, and if you like this specific video, hit the like button. That helps the YouTube algorithm so more people can find these videos, and that really means a lot as well. I hope you have a fantastic day. I will see you in the next video.